What's going on, YouTube? It's Eyes of Neji here. Thanks for tuning in here. I know some of you who've dropped by to see the Iceberry video wanted a combo lit video, and this is it. I'm just going to go through some basic things that I usually did throughout my regional experience that helped me get the win. And just kind of explain different situations where I would use one combo or another. So without further ado, let's go. And please, always, if you do like the video, please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So without further ado, this first combo takes, it's revealer plus any discard. So what you're going to do is you're going to normal your revealer, right? And after your normal, you're going to use the effect to pitch for cost. You're going to special summon out Hexa. You're going to use Hexa to foolish your Mirror Mage. And once you foolish your Mirror Mage, you are going to use the effect to search for an Ice Barrier card. The Ice Barrier card is going to be Speaker. Speaker will allow you to summon from hand. Now, usually the add off of this comes from if I'm afraid of my opponent's on Nib, which, you know, depending on the format and at the regional, it wasn't really, like this line I tried to go to because it was really optimal to get the Omni, but yeah, essentially if you want to get the draw 4, you make sure you send the Mirror Mage. So you're going to send the Mirror Mage. So the Mirror Mage is in the grave. Sorry if I'm not showing it on screen here. So you're going to send the Mirror Mage, and then when you summon your Revealer, you're going to overlay into a rank 4, which is going to be your Bahamut Shark. And then you're going to use Bahamut Shark, detaching Speaker. It doesn't really matter the detach, I just prefer Speaker most of the time for an extension play if Bahamut gets negated, to summon Toad. So now that you have Toad out, you're pretty safe from a lot of the rest of your plays. So you can kind of play freely at this point. But you're going to link these two off into your link to Coral Anemone. And then your Coral Anemone is going to use her effect to reborn your Mirror Mage. Your Mirror Mage is going to activate its effect to tribute as cost. And you're going to special summon 3 of these guys. All right. So the first guy, this becomes a level 5 at this point. So you're going to synchro for 6 because it's now level 5. And you have 2 more of these guys left, right? You're going to synchro for 5 for your legendary Coral Dragon. And at this point, you see you have a level 6, and you have 2 levels here, which right now you have an 8. But you want the 9 for the draw 4. So what you're going to do is, because you can control an Ice Barrier monster, you're going to banish Speaker from the graveyard as cost. And then that will give you another token. So at this point you have, and sorry for not showing enough room here, but at this point you will have 3 tokens plus the level 6, which gives you the level 9. You're going to synchro summon into Croc here. I usually put Croc in the extra monster zone just because it gives me more room for future plays. So yeah, you have Croc, and you go to Croc, Chainlink 1 to draw 3 because you use 3 non-tuner materials, and Chainlink 2 Coral because it was sent to the graveyard. So there's your draw 4 combo off of just literally 1 card plus a discard. So you're going +2 essentially off of it, but really you're going +4 because you have your Omni and an interruption for next turn. So yeah, that's the draw 4 combo. Let me show you guys the combo, the anti-spell combo. This is probably the one you've been wanting to look at or have been waiting for, because this one is quite fun, especially since this is how I got a lot of the wins when I knew my opponent was running board breakers or, you know, just generic spells that I just didn't want them to activate, like such as Runic. Really, the combo starts the same, right? So you're going to be normal summoning your Revealer, you're pitching any card, you summon your Hexa, foolishes your Mirror Mage. Now, in this case, in this sense, depending on what you have in your hand, but essentially you're using the Mirror Mage search to search for your wins over the Ice Barrier. Now, the wins over the Ice Barrier insanely good for getting out your anti-spell, which is in fact the Spellbreaker of the Ice Barrier. So what you're gonna do to make sure you can get enough bodies out, including your Lancia, is after you add this, right, you are going to link these two off. Now this is a little more volatile, and if they know where to hit it, they can hit it here. Like I said, it depends on what your hand is and if you feel comfortable going for this line, but you can special your Coral Anemone out, and then use Coral's effect to special your Mirror Mage back, right? Try to get both of them on screen there. And once you special your Mirror Mage back, you know what happens next. You tribute for cost, you special 3 tokens, and here's where things get fun. So you have your 3 tokens thanks to Mirror Mage, right? So with wins, you contribute all 3 of these, and it's level 5. You contribute all 3 of these, or just 2. Usually you tribute 2, because you contribute them to special summon out your Spellbreaker and a Speaker. Now, why I'm doing the 2 level of these 2 specifically? Because you do want to special summon level 4, because this you'll be able to use its effect at this point. And you can use Revealer's effect to banish itself from the grave, because you're using an effect that pitches an Ice Barrier card. So you can banish this to then make your make it so as long as this card remains in the field until the end of your next turn, neither player can activate spell cards. So really insane card. It's pretty much an auto win. Yeah, so that thing's live, and you have a 5, and you have a 1, and you have a 4. Guess what? That makes a 10. So, what do you do with a 10? Well, naturally, you bring Lancia on. So even if, you know, they imperm the Lancia or whatever, it's like they're locked out of spells until they get rid of this. And, like, if they imperm the Spellbreaker, it's fine. Because then you're saving yourself the imperm for the Lancia, you special the Raiho out, you just do normal Ice Barrier things, right? So, this combo is insanely good. This is essentially your auto win condition. It really is almost impossible to out this board combo unless they have the nib. That's why I usually go for the draw 4 combo most of the time, because this is a little more volatile. Granted, you know, you do get the hand rip, you get rid of their nib if they remove your Lancia, but still, I do prefer the draw 4 because of the Toad. That being said, if your hand is loaded, you do sometimes get to the draw 4 plus Spellbreaker, which means you have Croc, Toad, Spellbreaker, which is really good because you have a lot of hand advantage and you end on the Spellbreaker. So that is, in my opinion, the ideal board is having you have Spellbreaker plus Toad up. And I will show you how to get that in a moment here. So if you want the 2-card combo to have Spellbreaker plus Toad, you're going to need Georges or, let's see here. You essentially need a Reborn, right? So Georges or the Freezing Chains, okay? So you need one of these 2 in hand as well. So let's say you have Revealer out here, right? So you do your Revealer effect, you pitch your other card. So let's just say it's not one of these 2. You pitch your other card, you special summon your Hexa, right? Your Hexa foolishes your Mirror Mage searches, well, it can be one of 2 things, right? So, I'm sorry, it could be 3. So it's 3. So if you have one of these 3, you can do the combo. My apologies. So you send your Mirror Mage, you search out your wins. And once you search your wins out, you're sitting pretty at this point. Assuming, and I do place through Speaker, assuming you have your Speaker already, then you can immediately go for your Toad play, right? So you special this out, you make your Toad, right? So So you have your Toad and your Bahamut, and you're chilling right now. And here's where you kind of have to decide things. But really, if you have this, you can kind of chill and wait for, like, you don't have to use your links here. You can just use this to reborn the Mirror Mage. Mirror Mage, make a bunch of shitload of tokens. Sorry for my language. And then make then do your essentially the same combo. Or you do your standard draw 4 combo, but you have to summon Georges out sooner, right? So since you're mandatorily searching this, if you don't have one of these cards, you do have to be careful about what you're bringing back, what you're searching off of your Mirror Mage, because that really kind of depends on how you're aligned. It's not very linear at this point, but the option usually I go for at this point, let's just say I have Winds plus Georges. Let's just say I don't have the Monster Reborn. My line usually involves going Georges first, because I don't have access to this and I need the other body in the grave, right? So, and I'm going to link these two up anyway. So I usually go Georges here, and I'm not scared of the nib, right? Because I already have Toad. Then I go Georges effect on summon, right? I go Georges revive Mirror Mage. So I have 5 bodies on board right now. I'm not really scared of it. And I have the extra body in grave, and I can at this point tribute a lot and still have an extra link for the coral, right? So if I want to do it the same way, we're gonna go Hexa plus Bahamut, right? Into our coral, right? Then we can go Mirror Mage at this point, which is off screen, my apologies. Mirror Mage at this point, special 3, right? Okay, so you can still do your standard combo at this point, right? No worries. So you're gonna go ahead and go Link for 6. So you're essentially doing the same thing. You do your draw 4 combo, because you do have Speaker in the grave at this point. Essentially, you have to have Speaker for this combo, right? Sorry to clarify, this is a Speaker plus a Reborn access. That is your combo. So Speaker plus Reborn access gets you to your Croc 4, and you do get your draw 4 at this point. So you're plussing immensely, and even now, because you didn't use Coral's effect, now you can use Coral. You can only Synchro Summon for the rest of the turn, right, from the extra deck. So you're gonna special that back, and then you're gonna use your Winds. Your Winds is gonna tribute that out. You're gonna special summon Spellbreaker, and Spellbreaker's effect is gonna be able to use herself to then banish the Speaker instead, and boom, anti-spell, Croc plus Omni. So, like I said, it's not super linear, and to emphasize what you do need to end on that board, it is Speaker, Revealer, plus a Reborn, right? So it's kind of like a 2.5 card combo, because you do have a non-once per turn Rhoda access to any of these, right? And with the new area, the Water Charmer support, it gets even more consistent. So I think this going first board is going to be really insane once I start messing with that Water Charmer, because boy, that is a strong card. Not a lot of people realize it, but having that card and be able to search out one of these two, or even Georges, right, depending on what you foolish, this is really, really strong, especially if you have an extra, right? So that is the uninterrupted FTK, essentially. I can show you guys what I elect to do, usually going second with a test hand. So let me shuffle real quick here, and I'll give you a real quick example of what it looks like when I go second. Keep in mind, I don't have all my board breakers in here. I took that out. It's just pure engine for testing purposes, just for you guys. So, okay, so let's just say for pure engine purposes, like we don't have any board breakers, okay. So this is fine going second. It's not awful, but how I would do this is I would start out by normal summoning my revealer, and then I'd go effect. I would pitch the Mirror Mage for cost, because if they negate it, I still get my search. So at this point, if I'm special summoning a tuner, I'm special summoning Georges, because Georges, that means if it's like Snake Eyes, I can break their board without having to worry about anything engraved because of Georges. And then I'm going to go Mirror Mage effect, new chain to search. Usually I do end up going for, and this is like, I've seen people not main deck General Wayne, but I really love General Wayne because I can just special summon Wayne and then use Wayne's effect on summon to search for any Ice Barrier spell, which can be the Reborn, or I can just search for the Medallion, which lets me search for any other Ice Barrier again. So in this case, because I have normal summoned, and normally I'd bring my Hexa out to break the board, I want to get my Mirror Mage out for the sole purpose of getting to this monster that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go with the Reborn. Usually I get Reborn. I get Reborn effect, bring the Mirror Mage back. And then this is a 2, this is a 5, this is a 4, so that's 11. So I do intend on synchro summoning for 11. And this is going to be Rainformer removal for the deck into Trish. Now Trish has an effect on summon, banish, non-targeting, 3 cards your opponent controls. Leaves the field, it can bring the actual legit Trish out, and then negate the effects of all your face-up monsters permanently, and then increases Trish's attack to 3,300. Also negate half their attack. So very powerful card, comes up a lot. And at this point, you do control an Ice Barrier, so they still can't activate monster effects in the grave, even when you summon this. So this is like a go-to line, and like it's fine for now because your hand is not really that good. You drew 2 one-ofs, so not really ideal. Plus a repeat. Normally you draw like Droplet. So like if one of these is Droplet, you'd have Fuel for Droplet or Tactics, you know, whatever it may be. But essentially this is your attack board, right? Now if you want to, like if you know they don't have a threat in grave, then usually I'll just like link these 2 off afterwards, Reborn my Mirror Mage, and then make a negate. Or if I'm comfortable with leaving Georges on, I'll leave Georges on. Just kind of depends what you have in your hand. But yeah, Trish is kind of the main line that I go for. And yeah, that's pretty much Ice Barrier, guys. There really isn't a ton to that line. As far as the deck goes, I think that it's still one of my favorites, and I'm gonna keep playing it. Glad we got my invite with it, and yeah, you guys stay cool, you Ice Barrier folk. One quick note, Defender. Haven't brought this out, but Defender essentially do the same combo to bring, it is Tuner, so you just, instead of bringing Hexa or Georges out, you just bring Defender out with Revealer. And yeah, you use this against Tenpai. But like instead of bringing Defender out like right away, you can also just special it out with Lancia. So it's up to you. But yeah, Defender is one that I usually like to use against Tenpai. Thanks guys. Talk to you later.